Hi, I'm Wes Crawford, and now we're going to talk about probably the most crucial aspect of changing a drum head, and that's actually tightening the lug screws into the lugs to get the proper tension on the drum head, to get the sound you want, because that's what it's all about. First, just take your fingers on the lug screws. They're very easy to tighten, and so what we want to do is have them all to the same equal tension, and we'll do that by finger tightening each set of lug screws all around the drum. And as you can see, I'm doing this with opposite screws, that is opposite sides of the head, exactly. And this is not really putting any tension on the head yet, because we're just getting them basically to what we'd call the 0 point. I'm tightening so that they won't tighten with my fingers anymore, and we can bring our key into play. At this point, you also want to watch and make sure that the rim is going down evenly over the head, that you don't see more collar on one side or the other, more part of this bottom part of the head here. So now I'm going back around and checking to see if they're all at what I'm calling the 0 point. 0 tension. The drum is now ready to be tensioned, and we'll start. In this case, I'm starting at about the 8 o'clock position in relation to my body, and I'm going to give it 1/2 turn. I'll go to the opposite side. Finger tighten again, because the act of tightening one side can affect the tension on the other side, and it might have loosened it up. That's particularly true of the bigger drums. So I'll give this side 1/2 turn. Now I'm going to remember my 8 and 2 o'clock positions and go over here to the 10 and 4, because that's as far away as I can get from these other two, and I'll most evenly tension it by doing a 1/2 turn on each of these. Again, you always want to make sure you're starting with a tight finger tightening tension. Now, this is a 10 lug drum, so we just covered 4 of them. Let's move 2 more from lugs away from the last one we just did, which actually puts it only 1 away from one that we did earlier. A 1/2 turn. We'll move 2 away. Again, you want to make sure nothing's loosening up as you do this. And finally, as you can see, this did loosen up. We're doing the 9th and 10th lugs. Your drum may have fewer or perhaps more lugs. The point is to do them as evenly as possible. And some have indeed loosened up a little bit. So let's go through and do a whole next cycle in the same order, trying to tighten them in an even fashion. And I compensated on this one by doing 2 1/2 turns, because for some reason it had loosened up. So now we've done 2 1/2 turns, or 1 complete turn, equally around the drum. Now if you're tuning a tom, that might be fine. That might be the tension you want, and I would suggest then start tapping to see if it's around the kind of tone you want, the kind of pitch you want. With a snare drum, top head, we generally tune it a little bit more taut. So I'm going to do 2 more 1/2 turns all the way around. And sometimes you'll just feel, just by feel, you'll feel that one lug is not as tight as the others. It offers less resistance, so you might compensate by tuning a little extra. The point is you want to get the head equally taut at every point around the drum. So what you have to do to make that work is what you have to do.